The 8 o'clock advisories are in, both on Tropical Storm Laura and still Tropical Depression 14. So I want to give you an update on both of these storms so you know what is potentially coming your way. Let's start off with Tropical Storm Laura. The 8 o'clock advisory has us going over and now past, really, the Leeward Islands. And so that has some big impacts. Will there be, there's kind of another swirl back here. Could there be another position change? Hurricane hunters are out here. They're surveying this whole area to find out if there is a better center. But right now, this is the center point. What that does to the forecast cone is it makes it do a little bit of a weird jog north and then continuing westbound. If that is continuing to be found as the true center with the full advisory that comes out at 11 o'clock, I would not be surprised if we saw something more like this now before that bend north. That could make a south side of Puerto Rico approach more likely. So that is a big change. What that does to putting us across the big mountains of Hispaniola and Cuba could also have big impacts on the intensity forecast later. All of this is because of high pressure that's in place, forcing this thing farther and farther off towards the west. And so, again, I think the east coast of Florida, the east coast of the U.S. basically off the table. South Florida, you still got to watch carefully, and then all the way into the Gulf. You'll have to watch this one as it approaches. And gosh, the hurricane modeling on this is still really quite intense, at least for some of the models, suggesting we could have rapid intensification. Then we have Tropical Depression 14. Here's the 8 o'clock advisory on this one. Again, we were watching that cluster of thunderstorms getting more and more active. This one's looking more and more like a tropical storm. Again, maybe by 11 o'clock, we'll get there. Forecast still calls for, an increasingly strong tropical storm to come across the Yucatan, then go into the Gulf, where it could also become a hurricane. So yes, what you're hearing on social media, what you've been hearing from us, we could easily have 2 hurricanes in the Gulf by late this weekend into early next week. That's something that does not happen all that often. And again, it is because of that high pressure zone. In this case, with TB14 potentially turning into Marco, the question is how much of this jet stream dip influence comes into play to allow the storm to go north. What's looking more likely is that the high is the strongest player here, and so an approach towards Texas or even South Texas is looking more likely, with also Laura going in that direction of the northern and western side of the Gulf of Mexico. There's a lot to kind of narrow down here as we watch these models roll forward. Here's the USGFS model showing actually both storm systems. Here comes our tropical depression, then Marco. Here comes Laura, both of those heading into the Gulf. We'll keep your updates.
This time on